Hello everyone, Cutting Tool Designer here. Welcome to part 14 of the restoration of the South Bend Heavy 10 lathe. Today we're just kind of review everything where we're at. I got parts all over the place. I like to try and get some of these things taken care of before we do any other major disassembly. But I wanted to review with you where we're at, some of the stuff that's done already, and just do a quick review. Oh, and one of the viewers requested that I post the information on the paint that we're using here, the recipe that I got from Brad Jacobs, basement shop guy. So we'll take a look at that, and that way it'll be on display here for anybody that wants it. I know Brad wouldn't have a problem with that. He was kind enough to share it with me and other people, so we'll go through that real quick. So hang on a second here and I'll get things set up and start showing you where we're at. Okay, now this particular mix comes from Sherwin-Williams. They're all surface enamel. It's an oil-based gloss. The number on it is Ultra Deep Base 6403-25759. And this is the can I haven't opened up yet. And let's see if we can get in here. Machine part gray, custom manual match, and the different colorants. So we've got this BAC colorant 0. That doesn't make sense. Maybe that's a 2. A 32, 64, 128. W1 white. 30. Well, these are your main counts. How much of each? So for the different selectors. So 30 would be like when they're putting a certain amount in the measurement system. 64 and so forth. So of the white, we're adding 30 out of 32. B1 black, 7 of the 32, 1 of the 64, and 1 of the 128, so a lot of black. G2 new green, 2 of the 32, 1 of the 128. N1 raw umber, 34 of the 32, that don't make sense. 1 of the 64, 120. 1 of the 128, and R4 red, 32 or 2 of the 32, so just a touch of red. What I'll do is I'll post a picture here in just a second, and that way you can maybe do a screen save, zoom in on it, whatever you want to do, and capture it that way. So hang on a second and I'll post that, then we'll be right back. Okay, here's the main handle for driving the saddle back and forth. I'm working on, got it all stripped of paint, getting ready to paint it, but I'm trying to polish up the outside of the handle first. It's got some dings and nicks in it, so I'm trying to, with a needle file, trying to level them out a little bit so they're not so distinctive, and then just running them through the polishing wheel. I'm not going to go overboard on this. I'm not going to take it down to where it's perfect. I do want to have it fairly cleaned up, and just to make it look nice and keep it clean. And then we'll paint that next. Also the handle for the half nuts. Got some marks in it still. I'll probably file and sand them out just a little bit more, and then of course this handle gets painted, but it's all stripped and ready to go. I still have to finish cleaning off the rest of the stuff from the apron, as you can see. I do have some of the components cleaned up, like some of the gears and so forth, so I'll show you those in a second. So hang on. Okay, here's all the components that I've gotten out of the apron yet that I need to just do a touch-up cleaning on. Most of it's cleaned off, and this is the stuff that I pretty much already have cleaned. Gets oilers, gear shafts, and of course this is the key that drives the goes down the slot in the lead screw, and you can see I'll try and get this set up in the lights. I'll rotate it back and forth, but you see that line there, there's wear there, and there's actually wear there. So I haven't measured that yet to see where we're at, but I think we're going to make a new one and replace that, and some of the other gears and so forth and shafts. So that's how far along we are with those components. And we'll just scooch you over here. Here is the quick change gear housing. Got a coat of paint on most of it. It's still tacky. I still have some areas that I have to get to, but I just need to be able to set it down while I'm doing that. I've already painted the inside with one coat. I think one coat will be good. So we've got this pretty well cleaned up and painted, and I'll show you a couple other things. And right here, what we have is some of the other parts. Here's the half nuts, got them partially painted. Now I thought there was a lot of wear in the half nuts, but they actually sit very well in the lead screw. So if I have any slop, it's either I have to make an adjustment somehow so that these can clamp harder, but I have a feeling most of it was in the side-to-side movement of the worm gear, so which we'll have to take a look at doing something about that. And there's the lock, or the other side of the dovetail for the half nuts, and then this is the lockout configuration. I still have to a little bit of paint here and there I got to do, and this is that gear that I need to finish, figure out how I'm going to get another tooth put back in there. I've looked at people that have these for sale. Not sure I want to pay that price. May have to long term, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can get it raised up and then get some gear cut in there. Now, just to show you back behind here, and I got that cardboard up because I got the buffing wheel and stuff over here so I don't get crap all over it. So I've got two guards. This is the main rear guard support mechanism. I've got one of the tumbler arms back here drying. This of course you've seen before, and this you've seen before. Painted the inside of the oil reservoir and some of the other parts that you've already seen. Of course, here's the lead screw, and here's what I'll show you with the half nut. It drops right in there, and it has very little wiggle room at all, even if I put it down in other areas where you would think it was worn. So it's really not a whole lot of side to side. It does wiggle back and forth this way, but side to side is not very much on both of them. So I think we're good on the lead screw and the half nut, so I don't have to worry about replacing those. Alright, so hang on a second and we'll get back over to where we have some other stuff going on. Okay, well, this is where I have all the components for the gear change box, all the shafts. This is the main shaft. Again, it's got some wear on it. I think maybe we'll try and just clean that up, make sure there's no high spots on it. The main input shaft, it's got a little wear on it. You can see the ridges in here. Now, I measured it with a micrometer, and excuse me getting in the way here. And it really only comes out to about a thou difference. but I'm not liking that. And this one here, if I measure with the micrometer, I'm getting, I think it was about 0.02 undersize on that, and you can definitely see where the gears were riding. So before I reassemble all this, I am definitely going to be taking complete measurements of everything and making up a drawing for each of these shaft components especially. And at some point, maybe we'll make some new ones, possibly even grind them and replace them at some point in time. This is all going to go back together the way it is right now. There's no issues with the gear teeth or anything. There is just a little slop in the shafts and so forth, but I think we're good enough to get up and running until we make some other ones. All right, hang on one second. I'll be right back. All right, everyone. Well, we'll wrap that up today. This is a short video. Just wanted to show status and everything. Just some things I got to get cleaned up, get painted, and get ready to go back together again. So hopefully the next video will actually, if we're lucky, we'll be at the spot where maybe we can go ahead and start reassembling the gearbox. I still have to order the wicks, so I'm going to try and get that done today so I can get them on their way. And after that, we'll get this finished, cleaned up, and then we'll work on that reassembly and all the components for that. So if you want to keep following along, please subscribe so that you get notified. And if you're liking this series at all, please give me if you're liking this series at all, please give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. All right, everyone, and we'll call it a wrap. Until next time, everyone out there, take care.